Well, kia ora, Gemini. This is your reading for this new moon that will be occurring roughly tomorrow, the 30th of May. New moon in Gemini. So let's see what the story may be for you for this reading. They're very general readings, so take what works and just leave what doesn't. Wow, we've got three cards coming out there. Hang on. We'll just get one more. Oh, so it would appear, look, we're managing things quite well at the moment, Gemini. Possibly there's been, I'll just hold these three up in the way that they came up with the Knight of Pentacles starting off. So this Knight, very capable, very much a manager in tangible affairs, managing what has been kicked off, a while ago, managing those crops that have come up kind of thing, So a consummate manager, quite methodical, in terms of organization and doing that, but there's a reliability to this card which is quite wonderful. Then we have the Tower, which is one of my favorite cards. It's a great depiction in the Thoth deck. An infusion of insight. We've got this, we see the Eye of Horus up the top. It's an infusion of new information, new insight. I would suspect just a different way of possibly looking at, if it's not the way that you do what you do, what it is you require in, whether it's a home, because we've got the Four of Wands here, consummate happy home. I think there's a big shift here, and it is about perspective, but it's about having also new information and getting this. Getting the sense that it's like you look like it's like looking into a mirror at your own reflection, but the person that you see is different looking back at you, and you think, what? Yeah, something's occurred here. I'm not saying something catastrophic or anything like that. I'm not saying anything like that because I don't see that. I see an infusion of new insight, perspective, a new fusion, actually, a fusion of aspects of yourself, Gemini. Aspects of yourself. Interesting. Anyway, we'll go through and clarify. The next card that came out is the Fool. Fresh starts, new beginnings. There's nothing sort of, in the Fool, it is 0 point. So there's nothing that's holding us back. It's as if we've cleared a slate. Like it's a whole clean slate. It's a whole new blackboard to draw on, Anyway, we'll... A few too many again. Getting quite a few coming out here. Right. So, Gemini, yeah. There's understanding. There's, I think, a new level of bravery, actually. If that makes sense. For some of you out there, a new level of bravery. Here we have the Star. We have the Five of Swords. We've got the World. So in fact, we are embarking. We've actually learnt the lessons in the last cycle now. This is like, it could be a 7-year cycle. It could be 10. It could be 12. It could go back to 2003. But we've learnt something here. This beautiful star card, Aquarian card, a fellow air sign, is a great healing card. It's allowing yourself to actually open up to new information, like a bridge that goes from, planet Earth to the stars above. There's a great electrical transference happening, isn't there? That's kind of the way I see it. And we get this infusion of new information, new insight. We see that 5 of Swords. There's a wonderful sort of saboteur card, whether that's yourself or whether it's someone taking credit all the time for yourself, very similar to the Aries reading, or recognizing that you need to take that credit, all the 5s are quite conflictual cards, whether that's internal, whether it's going on around you. I would always look at it as you're the instigator of your own world and your own experiences or experience. So we see it taking us into this new cycle because we've learnt some lessons here. Some lessons. Let's have a look. We'll just go through and clarify. We've learnt some lessons, whatever they may be. But it's free. There's a freeing. It's kind of funny because there's an understanding here. 3 cards here, 3 cards there, which I do think are a kind of continuum with this Fool sitting in the middle, ready to leap off. Ready, really to leap off. Maybe it's just one more thing. Let's have a look at the Knight of Discs for Gemini, please. Oh, yes. So we've got a face-off. We get the Knight of Discs, clarifying the Knight of Discs, right? And then we get the King of Wands. Maybe, just maybe for some out there, there's a rebalancing going on here. The Tower's involved in that, or has been involved in it, but there's a rebalancing of these energies. We're looking at quite slow with the Knight, quite slow, methodical, but very good at managing, at planning. Then we have this impulsive, kind of life and soul of the party. You're wanting to enjoy, kind of flirtatious. I don't know, it's just a rebalancing, I do get a sense of those energies within the Gemini out there. Let's see. The Tower. A Tower moment. A healing time. 4 of Swords. Whether you like it or not, it's a healing time with the 4 of Swords. We venture into respite. We take time out for ourselves because no one else is going to do that for us. It's a beautiful card. We've got time, Gemini. We've got time. One of the most precious things is time. Four of Wands, please. It's interesting. It's like two. So there's this, the storyline presents itself as two separate parts with the connector in the middle, which is this full, this 0 point new journey, fresh growth, fresh new stuff. The dual nature of the Gemini, it's just funny that it's come out this way. Four of Wands, which is a happy home card. It's security. I mean, the fours are all about that. So fours are all about that, security, safety. We may, hang on, there's just too many coming out. So the Four of Wands, it's like the consummate sort of, two Labradors and I don't know, two Labradors, four-wheel drive, I don't know, the consummate happy home. We've got a cluster coming out. So we'll just go through these, Gemini. A lot of these readings are quite convoluted. We're looking at Four of Wands. Security. Don't want to give that up. Why would you want to? What seems to be happening here is that we're just reviewing that. We're just sort of thinking, well, what's my idea of a happy home? What is it that constitutes security for me in that kind of homecoming, or in the concept of home is what. Now we've got plenty of time to think about that in the Four of Swords. So if we're looking at that four, well, we get the Tower. There's something about home, or the sense of home, that is not has shifted for you. It's changed, or it's just not. It's not what it was. It's changed. We get the Tower again. I love this Tower too. Shaking it up. So we get the Four of Wands again. See the homecoming, this is a place, your place to be. It's not the same somehow. Then we have, right, you see what your domain is, you see what your authority is within this. You're getting blasted with all this new information. You take a rest, bit of respite, just to digest it and mentally and all the rest of it. It seems that the concept is just shifting for you, what it is to have a happy home, right? Two of Wands, you see what is within your domain. What's your authority? I'm saying your authority, not someone else's. What's yours? You see it in here, and it's lit up like a crystal ball. This is where we make a choice. What does that choice bring us? It brings us an incredible Ace of Cups is what it brings us. So we give this shape, we give this form. Is this not the essence of a happy home, Gemini? Something like this, the Ace of Cups. We're making decisions that are based on different ideals. Now, whether we're making them now or at some point in the future, or whether we've made them already, it is largely something to do, obviously, with what our idea of home is for some Geminis out there. Then we have Judgment. So we see past, present and future. We see lineage and history playing out actually in our own bodies sometimes, playing out and filtering out through to those around us also. You know, judgment is where all the birds come home to roost at some point. Come home to roost. Emphasis on home. This is kind of an interesting, somewhat confusing reading, Gemini. That's a lot of cards to get here, but we're looking at the card of healing. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of jumbled up. There's a lot of mental activity in this reading. We get the Queen of Cups. She is, or he, at home in the tidal waters. You know, there's a natural filter, you could say, in that her cup is always full without really requiring a lot of effort, actually. And we need to understand how we fill our own cup, don't we? Five of Swords, please. Five of Swords and the World. Wow, this is really confusing. We'll look at the Five of Cups. It's the Five of Swords. Conflictual, often about deception, but I always look at it like there's something going on within the self. And we get the Queen of Wands, this beautiful, can we not shine our light? Is it that difficult to shine our light, Gemini? Well, I don't think it is underneath it all. Because if we do that, you know, what is it? Oh God, I just can't think of the word. It's ridiculous. Translucent, transmission, transparency. That's the word. Shine your light, dear Geminis. Shine your light. Let's have a look at the world, because that is the key to bringing you into this new cycle. Yes, it is. And as I said before, with judgment, you know, coming out here, it can be to do, as I said, lineage, like looking back. This is heavy stuff. I mean heavy in the sense that it's kind of really it's like a jigsaw puzzle that surrounds this. You know, you sort the puzzle out, and then you get to be the fool. You sort the puzzle out, and then you get to be the fool. I don't know what else to say about that, but we overcome patterns of lifetimes, and sometimes that's just our lesson here to enter that new cycle, Gemini. So let's get a Brian Flood. Pixie and Fairy Oracle. Look, here we get, again, we get the Fool coming up in the middle. First and foremost, Arval Parrot. This is about reading the signs, really. But it's about clear communication, but it's sort of like sign language. Just look at signs and signals. It's communication that's coming from a very balanced head and heart. It's clear, it's true, it's your will, Gemini. Arval Parrot. And we have the Journeyman, which is the Fool, again, with a large level of support. You might not think that you have that, but you do have a large level of support. And with that, this beautiful Tower on the Poet, very fast moving, very targeted. Like there's a, this is sort of, I wouldn't say impulsive, but when you see with this card, we've got these sort of battle scars here. This is a very, a kind of romantic card. And I mean, not so much impulsive, but compulsive is what I get from this. Compulsive. And we get battered around with this, but it's a beautiful character. Very focused, targeted. The rest of this, I mean, this reading is quite interesting because it's as if, I don't know, it's like there is a cycle here. There is a cycle that is once it's understood. That's what gives you your freedom. Whether that's from, whatever it's from. Understanding the circular jigsaw puzzle, in some ways that tower is your puzzle, and yet it's full of information if you listen. Hello, listen, Gemini. Let's get a lovely art oracle cards. I love these cards. I love them. They're quite light-hearted, which I think after that reading, Gemini, we might need. Well, let me put my glasses on. Gustave Courbet, I used to really like his paintings. Fight the power, paint the powerless. We've got 3 little segments if you haven't seen these before, but it's life, work, and inspiration. So life, fight the power, paint the powerless. Work, show what you see, not what you saw. Show what you see, not what you saw. What you see. May your art help finance your legal fees. Because he did get into a little bit of trouble, didn't he? Anywho, well, thanks for joining me, Gemini. Remember, these are really general readings, intuitive tarot, and enjoy this beautiful new moon in your sign. And I'm sure you've been, planting seeds and ideas and all those wonderful things. So take good care, have a wonderful week, and we'll see you next time, Gemini. Ka kite.